I keep seeing it on my YouTube, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna click on it.
Korean Air's vice president for cabin service, and wait for it, daughter of the airline's chairman, Ms. Cho forced the plane to return to the gate where she had the head of the cabin crew kicked off. She was served macadamia nuts in a bag instead of on a plate. And after the story sparked outrage throughout South Korea and much of the world, she resigned some of her duties, though she's apparently keeping her title at Korean Air.
우리나라가 어느 순간 보면 결국은 재벌들이 장악한
At some point, our country completely dominated by these companies. Korea's Chaebols, large business groups that make up the majority portion of the country's economy, that are now owned by a single family. We refer to those companies as chaebols. Chaebols. Okay. They live in a completely different world to us. Unless we are born into that kind of family, we can't climb up. Okay. It's been common knowledge that the chaebols hold omnipotent power and no one can touch them. Okay. Okay. I'm attacking, right? Let me see. Sure, I attack. I am. Oh, let me turn that off. Untouchable family. I'll read it if they're talking Korean, you know, just because if people are listening. There isn't anything special about me. I started driving taxis around the age of 25. Then I got married to Yumi's mom and had Yumi. Strong sense of pride as a father. And I was very happy. I don't know what this part is, but let's see. Family situation was not so good. I was driving taxis and I wasn't earning a lot. Couldn't afford to send Yumi to a university. At the time, Samsung requested high schools to recommend smart and obedient students to work at their company. And Yumi applied at that time. 취업을 해가지고 자기가 돈을 벌어서 자기가 결혼할 적에 돈 들어가는 비용 또 그 유미 밑에는 그 She wanted to help pay for her younger brother's university tuition. 자기 남자 동생 대학교 가는 그 자금도 보태겠다고 얘기를 하면서 그 간 곳이 그 삼성이었습니다. 삼성은 우리나라 대 Wait, hold up. Apparently, let's see. Actually, I need to look. Matthew Perry passed away. Apparent drowning 53 minutes ago. The actor best known for playing Chandler on Friends was found dead at the Los Angeles area home Saturday. Drowning. Actor who was outlet reported that Perry was found in a jacuzzi at the home and no drugs were found at the scene.
Spokesperson for Los Angeles Police Department told the people responded at a call Perry's address regarding the death of a male in his 50s, but would not confirm. TMZ was also told that there was no foul play involved. Damn. Representative for Perry did not immediately respond. So we don't know exactly why. It just says drowning. I guess they're still trying to figure it out, of course. Damn. That sucks, that sucks. I'm sure we'll find out more information in a few hours or days. But alright, let's go back. Samsung is a large conglomerate in Korea. The salaries are high and they offer good staff benefits. Okay.
대기업이기도 하고 월급도 상당히 많이 준다고 얘기를 했고 또 이 복지 시설도 잘 돼 있기 때문에 사람들이 그 유미가 삼성에 그 취업됐다고 하니까 다른 사람들 축하해 준다고 너무 좋아하는 말씀들을
about getting a job at Samsung.
친구분들도 너무 많이 해 주셔 가지고 저는 상당히
so proud that she got a job at the semiconductor factory.
자랑스럽게 생각을 했었습니다.
For those who are shaping the future by reinventing the present. It is my pleasure to introduce the Galaxy Note 10.
삼성의 브랜드 가치가 세계 2위를 유지한 것으로
Remains second place
나타났습니다.
globally.
돈으로 따지면 90조 원에
Currently worth 81 billion USD.
삼성은 자랑스러운 우리나라 기업입니다. 세계 무대에서
They compete and win against Apple and Japanese and Chinese corporations globally and makes us proud. Pocket change. In the semiconductor industry, Samsung is almost at the top globally. South Korea became known because of Samsung. Taewu Park Haiwo newspaper. Samsung has business in electronics, finance, they run hotels, business, trading. They're so diverse, it's obvious that they're influential. When you think of Samsung and the profit that all their subsidiaries bring in, some protected accounts for 20% of Korea's GDP, okay? People feel proud if their nephews or sons get into Samsung electronics. Right. I probably should put this here so I can actually see the...
저는 성황대학교에 재학 중인 3학년 심영아입니다.
My name is Younghos. I'm currently preparing to look for a job. Okay.
삼성, 현대, SK, 3개 정도.
Three of them. The aim of the SAT exams was to get into Seoul University of Korea, and then to get into those three companies. SK, Hyundai. I look to the left, front, back, everybody's studying. Only choices to get into the conglomerates. There's no other option other than that because the salary gap is almost double. Welfare benefits are different. But really, more than that, it's about how people look at you. And if you have failed, if you don't get into the conglomerate. No one's around who says, I want to get into a small, medium-sized business. They try for the big conglomerates
소리
first.
소문 없이
If they don't get
다니는
in,
경우는
they go
많이
elsewhere.
봤습니다. 근데 연락은 안
And don't
돼요.
tell anyone about that from them, and don't hear from them again. Okay. Interesting.
그냥 일단은 보통
It's not easy to get into the conglomerate.
쉬운 일만은 아니거든요. 한국에서는 그 다른
Unlike Europe or America, there's no rolling recruitment in Korea.
기간을 정해놓고 1년에 뭐 한 번 내지는 두 번 계열사
These companies will only recruit once or twice a year at the same time.
그런 뭐 적성 검사라든지
So there's practice books to prepare for the aptitude test.
문제집도 있어요. 수능처럼 준비되기도 하고.
It's often prepared for in the same way as SAT.
SK도 보고 다른 기업들도 보겠지만 유독
SK has it, LG has
지원
it,
숫자가 워낙 많기 때문에
but Samsung in particular has so many applicants. It's often referred to as Samsung Public Exam. In average year, 500,000 graduate students apply to the work in chaebol conglomerates. That's 73% of all fresh graduates
My name is
per
Sang
year.
Park, economics professor at Seoul National University. As a consequence of chaebol-centric economic development, chaebol-dominated Korean economy, democracy is now replaced by corporatocracy.
대규모 기업 집단, 즉 국가
Large business
경제에서
groups that
차지하는
make up
비중이
a
아주
major
큰
proportion of
기업 집단이고, 그리고
that are
이
now
대규모
owned by
기업
single
집단이
family. We
특정
refer to
가문에
as
의해서 지배될
chaebols,
때, 사실상 지배될 때 재벌이다 이렇게 부릅니다.
chaebol. Okay. Wealth group. Okay, chaebol.
이 당시에 60년대,
Korea did not
70년대
have a proper
한국에서
capital
자본시장이
market in the
발달하지
60s and
못했어요.
70s.
그러니까 기업들은
Business needed
자금을
funds
가지고
to
와서
invest.
투자를 해야 되는데 신인도가 낮아서
But they could
외국에서
not
돈을
take out
가져올 수
loans from
없었고,
abroad due
이때
to their
정부가
low.
중간에 끼어들어서
The government intervened and brought in
차관으로
funds from
배자를 가지고 와서
abroad,
기업들에게 나눠줬어요.
distributed them to the corporation.
1970년대
Chaebols were formed in the 1970 heavy industrialization,
당시의 정부는
and the government at the time
각
distributed
재벌들에게
specific industries to each
특정
of them.
분야를 나눠줬습니다. 삼성, LG는
Electronic was
전자,
assigned to Samsung and LG.
현대는 자동차.
Motor vehicles assigned to Hyundai.
이런 신생
These
재벌이라고 할
chaebols
수 있는
grew
재벌들이
rapidly.
더 빨리 성장을 하는 일까지 일어나게 됩니다. 이런 정부
Such
주도 재벌
government-led
중심
chaebol-centric
발전
development
전략이
was successful.
성공적이었습니다. 특히 한 30년 정도, 1960년에서
Korea's harvested unprecedented success in the following 30 years.
삼성, 현대차,
Major corporations
SK,
are
LG
Samsung,
이렇게가 4대 기업일 것 같은데요.
Hyundai, SK, and LG.
4대 재벌의 경제력
Top
집중,
four chaebols
그리고
in the concentration of
자산 총액
economy and
규모,
market
이런
capitalization
것들이
became much bigger in the last
최근
10
10년
years.
사이에 많이 높아졌습니다.
4대 재벌 내지
4 or
5대
5
재벌이
chaebols account for half the income
재벌들의
of all
반
chaebols.
정도를 차지한다 이렇게 볼 수가 있고요.
이제 대한민국 경제의
There are so many people who consider them to be the backbone of South Korea's economy.
생각하는 사람들이 한편에서 많이 있어요. 법 위에 군림하고 있나.
There are a lot of citizens who consider them as untouchable economic power,
것으로 인식하는 국민들도
as they are
많이
above the
있습니다.
law.
유미가 2003년
Yumi started working in
10월달에 들어가서
2003
일을 하다가
October.
그 2005년 5월 한 말쯤
It
되었는데
was May 2005
유미가
that she called
엄마한테
her mom.
전화가 왔어요.
Dun, dun, dun.
아, 체한 것 같이
She said she was
속이
feeling sick,
미식거리고
that she had
배
an
아프고
upset stomach.
그러다가 전화가 와갖고 처음에는 유미가 이
We thought it
음식
must
먹은 게
have
체해서 그런 줄 알고
eaten something bad and we told her
약방에
to
가서
take
그
some
약을 사다
medicine.
먹으라 그랬어요.
Uh-oh.
이제 유미하고
Yumi and her
친구가
friends
이제
went to a hospital
수원에
in
있는 병원을
Suwon
가니까는 그 병원에서 그 바로 유미를
and admitted her right away and
입원시켜놓고
contacted me and her mom.
그 이제 나하고 유미 엄마를 오라고 그런 거예요. 의사 선생님이
The doctor asked
나를
to
보고서는
talk to me
복도로
out in the hallway. He said,
나오라고 얘기를 하더라고요. 그래서 내가 이제 복도로 이렇게 나갔어요. 그랬더니 그 의사 선생님이 하는 말씀이 유미는
Yumi has
급성
acute
골수성 백혈병이라고
myeloid
했어요.
leukemia.
그 얘기를 들으니까
After hearing that, it felt like the sky was falling down on me.
느낌이 약 드는 거야 아주. 팔하고 다리가 힘이
My arms and legs were
어떻게
giving
할
up
수가
and I
없는 거예요.
couldn't do
아주
anything.
가슴에 딱 무는 게 아주 이게
was
먹먹한 게
frustrated
어떻게
beyond
표현할 수
words.
없을 정도로 이게 답답한 거예요. 그 1차 항암 치료를
She had the first chemotherapy treatment and her hair started falling out in clumps. She was crying so much.
막 우는 거야 이게 아주 머리가 쑥쑥 이렇게 다 빠지니까.
Apart from the top 4 chaebols, and there are 24 well-known family-owned conglomerates, including Korean Air. In this case, where law and order was broken, when a scheduled flight changed its flight path due to violence and personal authority, the airplane security was at risk after the chief flight attendant, who had judicial authority, was commanded to leave the plane. The nut rage case highlighted the power and authority of the Chaebols for the first time to foreigners who had no idea about them. Sun Sub Chung, CEO at Chaebol.com. There are many cases of Korean corporations and their abuse of power. But this was a very rare case where a member of the Chaebol was actually prosecuted. From Korean Air, it has become common knowledge that Chaebol had omnipotent power and no one can touch it. It is already common knowledge that the conglomerates don't go to jail for anything.
한국 법원에는 이제 재벌
Korean
정찰제
judicial system, there is a so-called
징역 3년에 집행유예 5년.
Chaebol negotiation rule. Hyundai Motors tax evasion in 2008. 3-year sentence commuted to 5-year probation. Lee Hyun tax evasion 2008. Yeah, same thing. Heather Cho Korean Air nut rage case. 8-month sentence commuted to 2 years probation. Primary reason for letting them off with probation instead of jail time is they have contributed greatly to the country's economy. Our government and the people raised the Chaebol. But now the Chaebol are controlling the government. And through the people, the judiciary system, I think the tides have turned. There's a pumpkin party in Drainer Village.
우리나라에서 가장 큰 이제 재벌 기업이
Samsung is the largest chaebol in our country.
가장
Those who work at the very bottom become very
국민들은
disproportionately
상대적으로
poor.
더 가난해지는. 근데 그 재벌들이 벌어들이는
We're
것은
noticing that the
누군가의
gains
희생을
of the
통해서
chaebols are coming from
이루어지고
someone
있다는
else's sacrifice.
사실이
That's true.
확인되고 있는 거죠.
There's pretty big companies over here. That's true. Like GM and Ford and I guess Tesla now.
음식을 먹지를 못하니까
She couldn't eat. She was becoming as skinny as a finger.
이렇게 손가락처럼 이렇게 마르는 거야. 몸에 아주 바짝 마르는 거야. 그래서 집을 딱 왔는데
We came home and Yumi's grandmother who lived with us said,
할머니가 이제 집에 있었는데 아니 애가 어떻게
"How
이렇게
did
돼서
our child
왔냐고
come
하면서
back like this?
그 회사가 어떻게
What kind of company was she working for that made her so sick?"
이렇게 왔냐 그러면서 밥을 안
Yumi's
줬으면
grandmother
왜
was so upset she stopped eating.
아무리 가만히 이렇게
I
생각을
started to
해봐도
wonder why she got sick.
아 이게
I
상당히
was
아주 이렇게
thinking and started to get suspicious.
의심이 가는 거야. 유미 병이 지금 왜 걸렸지 하는 그런 생각이 들어가는 거예요. 그 유미한테 거기서
I asked Yumi what kind of
회사에서
work she
무슨
did at the
일을 하냐고 이렇게
factory.
물어보니까 이 반도체 그
She said her
웨이퍼에
job was to
그
dip
웨이퍼를
the round semiconductors wafers into various
다른
chemicals
화학약품 담궜다가
and then again and again into other
다른
chemicals.
화학약품 뺐다가
Shit.
이런 걸
He said she
반복해서
repeated
일을
this
했다고 하는 거예요.
process.
병원에 이제
There was a manager
한
from
며칠에
her
한 번씩 한
workplace who
일주일에 한
visited the
번씩 오는
hospital
그
once a week.
과장님이 있었는데 그 과장님한테 물어봤어요. 아니, 유미가
I asked him, Yumi said she dipped the wafers into
웨이퍼를
these chemicals.
반도체를 화학약품을 쓰는데 담궜다 뺐다 하는 작업을 했다 그러는데 이러면은 이거
If it's true,
산업계로
couldn't you acknowledge
인정해주면
that
안
this is a
되냐고
work-related
그랬어요.
disease?
그 산재 보험을
I
적용을 해달라
requested to
그랬어요.
claim workers'
그 과장이
compensation.
나를 보고서는
The manager
아니,
looked at me and
아버님이
said,
이 큰 회사 삼성을
"Are you trying to
상대해서
win against such a
이기려고
large
그러십니까?
corporation
그러니까
like Samsung?"
그 당시에 뭐
They
황유미 씨
tried to appease Yumi's dad at
아버지에게는
first.
처음에는 이제 회유를 하는 거죠. 뭐 아버지 집에 찾아가서
They visited his house, talked about financial reimbursement
더 이상 문제를 키우지 말
because they didn't want to make
원하니까.
the trouble any bigger.
그 치료비
Medical bills
들어간 돈이
and transportation bills were
그 경비하고
around
쓴 돈이 한 5천 한 몇백만 원
$50,000,
정도 들어갔던 것 같아요. 한 5천 한
$55,000.
500만 원 이렇게 들어갔던 것 같아요. 100만 원짜리 수표
He
5장을
brought
가지고
5 checks, $1,000 each. He said the company doesn't have money, so
이것뿐이 못 가져왔으니까
take it and
이거
let's
갖고
end it
끝내자라는
here.
거예요.
So with $5,000, he
그래서 삼성이
trying
돈이
to
없으니까
tell him to
이거
shut
갖고
up.
끝내라는 그러니까
So Samsung didn't have money
그러니까
but
나는
wanted
이게
to wrap it
속았다는
up.
느낌이 이제 확
I
들어가는
suddenly
거야
felt like I
이제.
was cheated. Okay. Jongran Lee, labor law lawyer. Most common way they
경제적으로
bully
지금
these
굉장히
families is with
치료비에
money.
허덕이는 가족들을 이제 괴롭히는 거예요. 이 한 공장에서
In one
여성
factory,
노동자 두
2 female
명이
workers from the same team both died of leukemia.
사망을 했다. 이거는
This couldn't have been a
그냥
coincidence.
우연의 일치일 수 없다. 사실 말도 안 됐어요.
It didn't make any
보호구도
sense.
제대로
They were
없었고
no proper
기본
protective equipment, no
안전장치
basic
없이
protection,
커버도 없었어요.
not even covered.
이게 노동자들의 죽음이
Workers
좀
kept dying and the situation kept
반복되는,
repeating itself.
상황이 재현되니까 삼성에서는
Samsung denied and lied about
반도체 공장에서 일하는
there are so many
인원이
employees at
워낙
the semiconductor
그중에
factory.
아주 소수만이 걸릴 뿐이며 일반인보다 훨씬
Only a
적게
few
걸린다는
small number get leukemia.
사실상
It's a far less than
거짓말을
average rate.
했었었죠. 한국 사회에서
Regular
삼성을
people think
상대로
it's
해서
almost impossible for them.
무언가를 진실을 파헤치거나 삼성을 상대로 싸운다는
They
것
dig
자체가
up
사실은
truths about
이
Samsung
삼성공화국이라고
or
불리는
fight
한국 사회에서
against
거의
Samsung.
불가능에 가까운 일이라고 보통 사람들이 생각하는
In this country,
그런
it is
것이기
often
때문에
referred to as Samsung Republic.
다른 기업과 다르게
We
삼성이
can say that Samsung is different from other
다르다라고 할 수
companies.
있는 건 되게 국가
They
경제에서
form huge shares of the market and contribute
기여하는
greatly
바가
to the
매우
economy.
큰데
휴대폰 사업,
As
반도체
cell
사업이
phone
커지면서
and semiconductor businesses grew,
97년
Samsung
외환위기
took
이후에는
lead in almost
삼성이
everything
거의 독주를
within
하는
the business
그런
sector
구조로 지금
after
하고 있습니다.
1997 financial crisis.
엄청난 자본을 갖고
They have an
있잖아요. 이
exorbitant
자본을
amount
가지고
of money. They use this
정치적으로나
influence politics,
사회적으로
society, and the media.
또는 이제 그 언론에 대해서
They
미치는
use this to
영향력이
influence, right? They,
엄청나다고 볼수
influence
있죠.
is mighty.
사회적, 정치적
They are able to make social and
자신들에게
political
유리하게
decisions go in
그런
their
역할을
favor.
한다.
그동안 관대했다라고
It would be
봐야죠.
correct to say that we have been
재벌에
lenient.
대해서
Our country and the judicial branch have been lenient on the chaebols.
관대했었고 특히 삼성에 대해서
But even more so in the case of Samsung.
경제
They have
권력이
become the economic
민주적인
power.
통제에서
They're
벗어나
outside the
경제 권력에
democratic
대해서
control.
국가 의사 결정에 심대한
They have
왜곡을
greatly
가져오는
distorted the
그런
way the
문제가
country
있습니다.
makes decisions.
그
3 or
부장하고
4
과장들
managers
한
came here
3명하고
in their cars.
승용차로 한 대씩 이제 여기 내려와요. 나보고서는
They would tell me that
유미가 병 걸린
Yumi
거는
getting sick
개인적인
is a personal
질병이고
issue and
회사하고는
has nothing to do with the
관련도
company.
없는데
With the company.
삼성에다 왜
Why are
바가지
you trying to rip us
씌우냐고
off?
유미에 대한 한 마디도 안
They
물어봐요.
never once asked about her.
이제 3월 6일 날
On 6th of March,
아침에
4:30 a.m.,
일찌감치
we went to the
이제
hospital for Yumi's treatment.
유미 그 병원 치료 받으라고 여기서 이제 새벽에 한 4시 반쯤 되면 여기서 출발해요. 유미가 이렇게
Yumi
뒤에서
was laying
이렇게
down in the
돌아있다가
back. She said, "It's so
더워 그러는
hot."
거예요. 그 뒤를 이렇게 돌아다 보니까
I looked back and she was sweating so much.
흘리고 있는 거예요. 유미 엄마가 옆에 앉았다가
A while
뒤로
later,
이렇게
Yumi
돌아다
turned
보니까
around.
얘가 왜 이래 그러는 거예요.
What is happening to her?
그래 고속도로에서 나 뒤로 이렇게
So I
돌아보세요.
looked back like this, and at the moment, she took her last breath.
숨이 다 이렇게 넘어가고 눈은 벌써 이렇게 치뜨는
Her
거
eyes
같아요.
were open like this. Yeah.
그래서 고속도로 옆에다 차를 이렇게
Parked my car at the side
난
of the
차에서
highway, and
내리고
Yumi's
유명마다
mom
내려가고
opened the back
뒷문을
door.
열으니까 벌써 그
But
사이에
by the
손이
time
벌써 다
Yumi was
넘어간
gone.
거예요. 얘가.
March 6, 2007, she was 21 years old.
싸워야 되겠다는 생각이
I
들어가는데
started thinking
내가
I needed to fight, but I didn't
싸워야
know what to
되는지,
do.
말을 어떻게 해야 되는지
I didn't know what to say. I have
뭐
no
누가
connections. Everything was so dark.
아는 사람도 하나도 까지게 앞이 캄캄한 거야. 어떻게 해야 될지 모르겠는 거야. 그래서 내가 유미하고 그때 당시 약속을 했어요. 원인 내가 꼭 밝힌다고.
I'll find out the reason.
사실 저희가 가장 힘들었던 거는 저희가
What made it difficult for us wasn't
싸운다는
that
느낌이
just we were fighting
아니라
against Samsung, but fighting against Samsung teamed up with the government.
싸운다. 노동부,
KOSHA, the Occupational Health Authority under the Ministry of Labor, and the police.
곳들과 싸운다는 그런 느낌이 강했고 그런 경험들이 많이 있었는데
그냥 받아주시면 되는 문제 아니에요. 사람 수가
뭐가 문제야 근데.
No subtitles here. Those people were at the corporations who allowed workers to die were not punished for 30 years. We will remember. We will remember. Must be it. Dude, there's so many people. Mr. Huang first applied to workers' compensation to KOSHA,
아버님이 주장한 거는
stating that his daughter was working
삼성
with chemicals
공장에서
at the Samsung
화학물질을
factory.
다루는 일을 했다라고 했는데 삼성에서 제출한
But Samsung claimed that she had been instead working with sticker labels.
식으로 주장을 했대요.
Sticker labels.
아 그거
I
아니라고.
explained that Samsung had turned in false
서류를
paperwork.
거짓으로 꾸며서 그렇게 올렸고 유미는 끝까지
And that Yumi worked in the same place from the start.
했다고 얘기를 하니까 그이 차장이 날
The official at the KOSHA slammed his hand on the table and said, "Do you think such a large conglomerate like Samsung would turn in false paperwork just because a couple people died from leukemia? Samsung Electronic Semiconductor not related to leukemia. Bangolim, Nago, nowhere to go with their dead, and
저도 언론인으로서 되게 부끄러운 얘기긴
as a
한데
journalist myself, it's embarrassing that our country press cannot survive without advertisement.
생존을 못 하는데 최대의 광고주는
The largest client is Samsung, so it's inevitable that they write what Samsung wants them to write.
기사를 쓸 수밖에 없겠죠.
The following document was obtained by Hanrik 21 Press and published on July 2020.
더
What is
충격적이었던
most
건
shocking that the Samsung had the list of people who had protested in front of
자기네
their
회사
building.
앞에서 사옥 앞에서 아마 1인 시위를 오래 했던 사람들의 명단을 이렇게 좀 만들어놔요. 뭐 저기에 있는 저런 지명수배 명단.
It just looked like they wanted posters over there,
명단
the same
같은 그
format.
양식이 똑같은 양식인데 거기 제일 윗줄에 뭐라고 써있냐면
It's titled Most Valuable Customer at the top.
써있어요. 그러니까 피해자들을
They are
조롱하는
mocking the victim.
자신의
They mock the
딸을
father who
잃은
lost his daughter
아버지를
just because he protested in front of the
그 앞에서 시위를
building.
했다는 이유로
their building.
무수무객이다 이렇게 조롱을 하는 걸 보면서 와 이거는 예의를 넘어서
I thought there was something
예의와
wrong
윤리의
with
문제가
their
있는 게
ethics.
아닌가.
Yeah. Oh, we only got 5 more minutes.
유미 화장을 해갖고
We came up
요거를
here
뿌리려고
after
여기로
cremating Yumi
올라왔습니다.
to spread her ashes.
여기를 올라왔는데
Yumi's
그
friend, my
올라올 적에
friend, the
유미
people from
친구하고
Yumi's
내
work
친구
came.
또 유미 회사에서 일하던 같이 사람들 유미 그 과장님도 해갖고 여기에 그 사람들이
There were about 40, 50 people standing over there.
그 요거를 뿌리는데
As I
내가
was
너무 억울해갖고
scattering her ashes, I felt so much resentment I couldn't hold back my tears.
그래서 그 요거를 뿌리면서
I was scattering Yumi's ashes with Yumi's mom and
누나랑
Yumi's
유미
sibling
동생이랑 같이 이제
all
요거를
around
이렇게
her.
쭉 뿌렸어요.
Around.
쭉 이제 여기 이제 가면서 이쪽으로 이렇게 쭉 이 앞으로 이렇게 왔는데 아주 그 사람들을 보는 순간에 아주
I cried so
너무
much because
억울해가지고 눈물이 아주
when I
많이
saw the
나더라고요.
guests,
얼마나
it was
화나가지고
because it was
너무
unfair.
억울해가지고 그래서 그 욕을
I
가지고
wanted to throw my
그
daughter's
이
ashes in their face of
삼성
the people
반도체
who
공장에서 온
came from
사람한테 얼굴에다
Samsung.
확 뿌리고 싶었는데 그 사람들이 먼저 눈치채고
I guess I could feel they could feel my anger, so they stepped back slowly and walked away
그때
from
당시
me.
나를 누가 조금이라도 좀
If there was
도와주는
anyone who
사람이
could
있었으면
help
그 사람도
me,
얼굴에다 확
I would have thrown
욕을
the
뿌리고 싶었는데 그때는
ashes at
좀
them.
혼절해서
But I felt alone.
너무
I didn't
자신도 없고
have enough
용기도
confidence
없고 그래서
or courage. I
차마 그
wasn't
욕을
brave
가지고
enough
그 사람들 얼굴에
to
뿌리지
throw the ashes
못했는데
at them.
지금 와서 생각하면 그 사람들한테
Now when I
얼굴에다
look back, I
욕을 뿌리지
regret
못한 게
not
아주
throwing the
한스러워
ashes
죽겠어요.
at their
너무
faces.
억울해가지고.
Because we don't have money. And we are poor workers without power. So many have died due to the chemicals at their workplace. It is truly disappointing that this has taken 10 years to resolve. Yeah. November 1st, 2018, Samsung Electronics apologized to those who have suffered, acknowledged by their sufficiently managed the risk caused by health hazards in their semiconductor business. It was 11 years, 8 months after Yumi's death. Do you think someone took a picture of him? Like to post on the wall as like that wanted poster?
점점 더
Surely, right?
그 격차가 벌어지는
They had to.
사회는
Oh, you're talking about like
격차
during
가장
whenever he
꼭대기에
was talking?
있는
Yeah,
모든
yeah.
권한을
There were
갖고
so many
있지만
flashes, dude.
그렇지
Holy
않은
shit.
뭐
That was crazy.
90%는 99%는
99% who have
자기의
nothing
삶의
will never have full control of their
자유롭지
own
않다는
lives.
거죠.
Yeah, there were so many flashes, like so many cameras.
재벌의 경제력
The
집중이라는
bulk of the
것이
economy being
법의 지배,
concentrated is
민주주의에
fundamental
대한
challenge
근본적인
toward
도전이다
legal
볼
control
수가
and
있다는 것이죠.
democracy.
아마존이든
Whether
뭐
it's Amazon,
삼성이든
Samsung, Facebook,
또는 뭐
they're creating a
페이스북이든
structure.
사실은 이제 그
Bazinga.
모든 것들을 자기
Whether
중심적으로 그
where everything
자원을
revolves around them
독점하게
and they can
만드는 구조를
monopolize.
만들었어요.
그래서
So
한편으로
on one hand, we are
자랑스러워하지만
proud of them,
한편으로는 이렇게 탈법을 저질렀는데
and on the other hand,
편법을 저지르는데 한 번도 처벌받지 않았기
there's
때문에
anger towards
사회
them for
정의를
breaking
깨트린 거에 대한
the social
분노,
justice.
근데
But
그거를
to change it
어떻게 바꿀
is
수
a
있을
different matter.
거냐는 또 다른 문제잖아요. 근데 약간 뭐
I think there's a sense of hopelessness.
그러니까 이제 이 사람들이
There's so many
잘못한 거는
things
너무 많은데
they've done wrong.
뭐 한국을
Their image of
먹여 살리는
Korea's breadwinner is so
기업이라는
strong
너무 강해서 아유 뭐 그래서 어쩔 건데 이제 이런
that
무기력함이
there's a feeling
좀
of
있지
so what can you do about
않을까라는
it?
생각이 들기도 합니다.
저는 이제 택시 운전을
I'm
하면서
driving my taxi.
손님을
Sometimes
이렇게
you meet
태우니까
friends get
어떤
in.
때는 유미 친구들이 탈 때도 있어요. 결혼을 해갖고 전부 다
They're all
애기
married. They
하나씩
have one or
데리고
two
타고,
kids, and sometimes
둘씩
they get
데리고
in
타고 어떤
with their
때는 신랑하고
husband.
같이 타기도 하고 그렇게 하면은 이제 그런
I
생각이
wonder
나죠.
maybe
우리
our
유미도
Yumi could have been
살아있으면은
married and had a kid or two if she was alive.
그 아기를 하나나 둘씩 이렇게 데리고 다닐 텐데 하는 유미 생각이 그렇게 나기도 하죠.
In 2018, Samsung apologized to the victim families and paying out 11.6 million in compensation. In that year, Samsung posted 53 billion in profits. Its own independent review committee said it paid out compensation to 90% of the victims. And then now it's showing pictures of everyone who had cancer from. Anyone else having a twisted tea and breakfast for dinner kind of night tonight? What's a twisted T? First of all. Yo, what's up instinctively? How you doing? Samsung Electronic did not respond to multiple requests for an interview. Jay Lee has been released. Wait, why was they in why was he prison? Okay.